15 to 20 cents range. That is how we have projected in terms of the upside. Could be the start of the longer term uptrend happening, and resistance to be a green line because now that would be a support. Over the past 2 months, we have seen strength in some of the Singapore REITs, the real estate investment trust, right? And why is this so? Well, essentially the Federal Reserve has said that in September, which is like 1 or 2 weeks from now, they are finally going to cut rates. I mean, they have been talking about it since last year, but now with some signs of an economic recession or economic cooling down, unemployment numbers going up, finally they are going to act faster, all right, and they are going to cut rates, right? And that would be a good thing for the REITs, the Singapore REITs, because since 2022, when there were rate hikes, right, that's where borrowing costs became much higher for the REITs, and it's kind of like affected the REITs negatively, and most of the REITs have sold off. But with this news of rate cuts, we are starting to see strength. So what are the three, right now, what are the three REITs, Singapore REITs that have came into my watch list whereby there could potentially be more upside in the next few months or as we head to the end of 2024? If you want to know what these three REITs does, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. Let's go. So the first Singapore REIT I would like to share with you would be this company called CapitaLand Integrated Commercial Trust. Right over here, the code is C38U, right? So over the past 1 to 2 months, we have broke one of those very key resistance, and that would be around the $2. So you can see, right, since beginning of the year or maybe into last year, we were trading below this very key resistance, about $2. You can see, right, we kind of touch and sold off. That was in 2022, 1 time, 2 time, we neared it. We just couldn't get above that $2 psychological resistance level. But over the past few months, specifically somewhere around mid of July, we managed to break above this $2 psychological resistance, which became what we call a new support level. So let me turn this line to green in color. And not only that, you can see that as we broke that $2, we stayed above $2. There were signs of the uptrend forming up as well. You can see that the longer term moving averages, the 100 days moving average, the red line, and the blue line, the 200 days moving average, also started to turn up. So that's a sign of strength. Of course, we must hold above that $2 support. And you can see the short-term trend, which is represented by the 20 days moving average, this green line has also slowed up, point up over the past few weeks. Right now, it is still sloping up. But what happens is that over the past 1 to 2 weeks, right, we are starting to see a little bit of an obstacle around this very key resistance, which is around the $2.15, 2.15. That is where we are seeing some, selling coming back. You can see a couple of candlestick right here with a long upper shadow, whereby there's some profit taking coming out over the past 1 to 2 weeks. And this 2.15, if you look all the way back, you can see that it also coincides with where we were somewhere in 2019. Right over here, you can see we kind of hit it there in 2019 2 times, right over here about 210 to 215, and we sold off. So that's a very key resistance level, which is where we are supposed to see some profit taking right over here, right? So yeah, over the past 1 to 2 weeks, we are attempting to break the level, but sellers came back and we push it back down. But it still looks pretty bullish, I would say, as long as we stay above this new support, maybe from $2 to even $2.05. That could be an opportunity to get in on dips. And eventually, right, if we were to break that 2.15 level, great. That is where potentially upside targets can be revised all the way up to maybe $2.30. So that is kind of the range. You can see is about $2 to $2.15, about 15 to 20 cents range. That is how we have projected in terms of the upside target. So this is CapitaLand Integrated Commercial Trust, one of the retail and office sector REITs in Singapore that is starting to see strength due to a potential rate cuts coming up. So the next Singapore REITs I would like to share with you will be this company called Fraser's Centrepoint Trust, right? The code is J69U, and this is a retail REIT that owns malls in Singapore like Hougang Mall, Tiong Bahru Plaza, and even Causeway Point. All right, so you can see right now it is trading at about $2.39. So let me just draw this very key resistance level that we have broken over the past 1 to 2 weeks. You can see this is what we call a very key psychological resistance level, whereby we tested one time, and over the past, I would say 3 years, right, we have been trading below this $2.85 and 30 cents, and somewhere around like August, it's about 2 weeks back, we broke this 230. You can see traded down a little bit, retested it, and we managed to push above that 230. So it looks like a pretty good support is coming up, right? If we were to stay above this $2.30 new support level right now, you can see this green support line. It looks pretty bullish. And also in terms of the longer term trend, some signs of it starting to turn up. You can see, right, since like 1-2 years back, the trend has been pretty much sideways. Just looking at the red and the blue line, they were just moving sideways. I would say even this year as well, right? Red and blue, they're both pointing sideways. So a bit of a sideways trend, right? But with prices breaking above 230, good thing we're staying above 230. It could be the start of the longer term uptrend happening. And even the short term trend represented by the 20 days moving average green line, you can see it started to slope up as well a little bit more aggressively since about 2 to 3 weeks back, right? And what could be the targets instead of where we could head to before some profit taking actually come back? Well, let me just go back to the past and see. You can see that somewhere around 2020. So let me just draw this line right over here. I think maybe around the $2.45. You can see we touched about 1 time, 2 times, around 245 to maybe 250. That was where we were in about 2020, and kind of like sold off. So let me just zoom back to the front right over here. You can see we are kind of like nearing this resistance level, about 245, maybe 250. That would be like the resistance. So that's where we might head to, maybe a bit of profit taking, might consolidate a couple of weeks below it. But if we were to, same thing, right? If you break this resistance, maybe 245 to 250, potentially that's where the uptrend can take shape even more. We can push to a higher target, maybe all the way to like 260 to 270. All right, so this is Fraser's Center Point Trust J69U. All right, the code is that, and we could potentially see the reversal happening due to talks about a rate cuts finally happening. So let me move on to the third and final Singapore REIT that I'd like to share with you, and that would be Keppel REIT, right? The code is K71U. So Keppel REIT is more of a commercial and an office REITs, right, that own some of the commercial buildings in Singapore. So for those of you who are working in town in Raffles Place, you even might be working in some of the buildings that they own, like OFC, Ocean Financial Centre, even MBFC, Marina Bay Financial Centre, even we have ORQ, One Raffles Quay, right? So these are some of the office towers that they own. By the way, guys, if you want to receive some of those ideas much faster by WhatsApp live on a daily basis, make sure you check out the links right below the video, around the video. Click on it, find out how you can become a VIP client of mine in Phillip Securities for free. All right, especially if you're not yet a client. I mean, if you are trading in Singapore, you need a trading account, right? And if you have a trading account, you're trading somewhere, you log in online or online platform or an app, and you don't get any service, no ideas, no videos, no training, no WhatsApp, nothing, right? No one pretty much contacting you, and you're pretty much left alone. Make sure you check it out, how to become a VIP client of mine in Phillip Securities for free. You do not pay anything more. It's pretty much the same as whatever you're paying when you're trading. All right, so check it out. The link is right below. That's where you can get some of those ideas much faster by WhatsApp. And even some of those REITs, right, we actually shared out by WhatsApp as well over the past 2 weeks as we started to see some price actions coming back. So let's move on to this third and final Singapore REIT, and that would be Keppel REIT. K71U will be the code. So it's now trading at about 0.925. So why do I like this REIT? Well, you can see that over the past 1 over year, right, we have been trading below this very key resistance. Let me draw this level right over here. That would be the 90 cents. Look at this, right? We kind of like hit it there somewhere in January, December. Same thing in February, January last year. We sold off. And even over the past 2 weeks, we actually attempted to break above it, but couldn't. And finally, about 3 days back, we managed to go above that 90 cents. I mean, now it's 0.925. So we are kind of like above that very key psychological resistance level that we have been trading below since like October 2022. For almost 2 years, we've been trading below 19 cents. Now we are above it. We're still above it right now. All right, and that would be a very good support level. Resistance turn support. So let me just turn this rate resistance to be a green line, because now that would be a support and we are still above this new support. And you can see, right, as we break above that 90 cents, right, it's about 925 right now, there are also signs of the longer term trend starting to turn up, right? The red line, you see, is still slightly below the blue one, but I think if we were to hold above 90 cents, right? Eventually, it will start to cross back up above the blue line, the 200 days moving average. And that's what we call a golden cross or a bullish crossover, whereby the 100 days moving average goes above the 200 days moving average, whereby the longer term trend can start to take shape, right, in terms of the upwards direction. What about the short-term trend? Well, for the short-term trend, you can see the 20 days moving average line has started to slope up since about 2 weeks back. It is still sloping up right now, all right, and you see it slowly kind of like approaching maybe the 90-cent support level, which acts like a dynamic support level as well. So let me just go back to see what could be the upside targets for Keppel REIT, from 90 cents. Where can we potentially see some selling happening again? Well, let me go to draw another resistance line right over here. I think that would be maybe around the $1. That would be like a resistance level. You can see right over here. That's where we have seen some selling somewhere in 2022. We just couldn't get above here as well. So about the $1, that would be a psychological resistance level. After $1, maybe towards this resistance about 1.08. Look at this, right? 1 time, 2 times, went down. So about $1 and then 1.08. So let me just zoom into the front again. You can see that could be the potential upside. So let me just draw some targets from like about 90 cents all the way to maybe about $1. That would be like about 8, 9, 10% upside. If that gives way, we could see more upside towards the 1.08. So this is Keppel REIT. One of the stocks that came and watched this, there are indeed some signs of a reversal. It's slightly different from the other two REITs that started to push up. This one is more of a reversal play. We were trading below 90 cents. After 2 years, finally we've gone above. We're still above it. Hopefully it stays above it over the next 1 or 2 days or next 1 or 2 weeks. That would be a good thing. That is where the uptrend can form up much more firmly. Right? So you want to put this stock in your watch list, Keppel REITs. So there we have it, guys. These are the 3 Singapore REITs, right? Real estate investment trusts that you can put in your watch list for potentially more upside as we finally begin the start of the rate cut cycles, right? So watch these stocks. And as I mentioned, right, guys, if you want to get some of those ideas much faster by WhatsApp, live daily, click on the link below this video. Check out how you can become a VIP client of mine in Phillip Securities. If you are not yet one, all right, you don't actually get much service from your own broker. You're just logging in online and stuff. Check it out, the link's right below. You do not pay anything more, all right? It's pretty much the same as whatever you're paying, and you do get some more personalized service as well. Joey here. I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care.